Hello and welcome back to the Shamrock Quilt Studio. Today we are making templates for our pattern Miss Kelly. Here you can see that I've laid the background fabric on top of my enlarged pattern. You can see the pattern through the fabric, which will make making the templates much easier. The first thing we want to do is place registration marks both on the pattern and the background fabric. This allows us to correctly place the fabric should we need to remove it during sewing. We can place it back on the exact same location the next time. I've also made a few marks in the pattern itself just as a check to make sure that everything is in place while I'm sewing and placing the fabric on top of the pattern. I've marked all four corners. At the bottom you can see that I've marked an R and an L for the corners of the fabric. Again, this is on the pattern and the fabric, and they should lay so that one is on top of the other exactly. To make our templates, we're going to use the heat-resistant mylar suggested in the supplies for this project. I'm using a regular pencil to trace the designs from the pattern onto the template or onto the mylar. Carefully make your lines so that they match the pattern. And I also am putting in the piece number if one is available on the pattern. You will notice on my mylar that I have placed the pattern pieces very close together, not laid out the way the pattern is done. This will allow me to make more templates from less material. This is a very economic way of using your materials. You can see that I've made the pattern for the top flower petals and the center of the flower and several of the leaves. I've also made a couple of other pieces that fit into the blank spaces on the template paper so we could get as many pieces as possible out of this one sheet. I'm including some other pieces that I'm not going to need right away simply because they fit into the blank areas of the template nicely. We will put these aside until our next phase of this project. You may need to adjust the way you're drawing on your template paper depending on the shape of the pattern. And here I'm checking what I have traced against the pattern to show you what pieces I'm using. And also I was unable to see the pattern number of that one leaf clearly through the fabric, so I'm using the smaller pattern as a guide. Here I see I can get one more leaf in that area. You may want to use your small template or a copy of your small pattern or a copy of your small pattern to mark the pieces that you've made templates on. We will be checking as we make all of these templates to see if we can use that same shape on the opposite side of the pattern. I've been able to put a lot of template pieces on half a sheet of template paper. Now we're going to cut out one of the pieces to demonstrate how simple that is. Using a pair of scissors, and be sure to use a pair of utility or paper scissors for this process. You don't want to use your good fabric scissors. Carefully cut out one pattern piece at a time, using the lines as your guide. And your piece is complete. And it matches up to the pattern nicely. I would recommend that you have a way to store these pieces as you cut them, because there will be many templates and you don't want to lose them. Thank you for joining us.